Happy Faz Friday, Mr. Zorro.
Happy Fast Friday, Titan. How are you?
I am wonderful. These last 2 weeks have been extra wonderful, and I can't figure out why it's been so much fun and so great here these last 2 weeks. I just can't figure it out.
I hope you did have fun this last 2 week, but
Yeah, I,
yeah,
I did it. I did it on my own, and I went on a rant, pretty good rant last week.
good. That's good.
Talked crypto, talked AI, and I threw some of my libertarian silliness, as people say out there.
Yeah, I saw that. It came out good. And I'm not gonna comment too much about that because I don't know if Fast is somewhere around here. Now, let's not go back to the past. It's in the past.
Well,
It's done. That show is done. It's there.
I'll tell you, he's probably listening to this. He's
Yeah.
gonna sit and listen to it, and he's gonna be like, "You guys are idiots."
Yeah.
I
You
don't
guys
care. I'm
are
having
no,
fun.
you guys are doing whatever you guys want to do, and no, it's not. It's just fun stuff can be tell in fast radio, in fast radio show.
Absolutely. So I'm pretty excited. We're kind of getting off the beaten path, and we're gonna make the show fun again. So we're gonna get hats. Make Faz Radio great again.
Yeah,
MFRGA. Mafurga. Mafurga is our new slogan moving forward, just so you know.
that could be a good idea.
I think so.
Yeah, man, it's
So,
it's it's, it's everything about as well to be fun, to have some fun in life. And, I
well,
was
and
actually, now that we're talking about this, I was looking into this Twitter, which is I think is kind of crazy, but I was looking into a short video that was recorded. I think it was today early or yesterday in the afternoon or night about Elon Musk, and he showed up with the president from Argentina, and he grabbed
yeah,
this.
Malay.
You saw that he grabbed this
Yeah.
chainsaw. And he started doing stuff, and the guy actually said, sometimes we have to do fun, whatever you're trying to do, and if you make politics fun, everybody will think that, oh my god, these people, they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're just having fun like everybody else. They're human beings.
Well, that's really important, but you want to have good conversations, right? And
Yeah,
so
of course.
Faz and I love getting into these, whether it's a debate, a conversation, whatever it is. We like to go deep, and we like to talk about really cool stuff. And since you've joined us on here, that's awesome, man, because you have a perspective that neither one of us have, and that brings epicness. I mean, you're hysterical, man, because you like literally hit us both in the middle perfectly. And it's really funny. And I feel bad for poor Zorro because we have our back channel talks, and I'm sure he wants to be like, you're both fucking idiots. Just shut up, the both of you.
No, really. No.
Look at
Well,
his face.
yeah,
He knows it.
yeah. Sometimes I want to say stuff, but I just let it. After a while, that I'm just looking into these conversations, and sometimes my fingers are trying to tell me, just come on, sorry, just step in and say something, and then it reminds me this. Well, Fast and Titan, they know each other for a long time, so fuck that. That's the way they are.
It is,
Leave it.
unfortunately.
Just leave it. Just leave it that way. But that's fun.
Look,
That's fun. That's pretty good.
so when I met Faz, I was like 20 and he was like 17, 18.
Yeah.
And here we are at like almost 55 and like 50. Well, wait, so yeah, I think he's a couple years more than that. Maybe he's 3 or 4 years
Don't
younger.
reveal that
But
here. Oh.
I'm telling you, man, we are old men shaking our fist at the clouds every chance we get. And I love it. And we are like brothers, absolutely, but we're not tied to that, right? So I
Right.
mean, having you here or any other guest here or someone who comes on long term, whatever, it's awesome. I mean, because we've met so many incredible people over the years from the ecosystems we've all shared. And while some of those ecosystems haven't been the best experience, the people that we've met from that, I mean, that is building the lifetime thing. We'll be shuffling with walkers at like 90 years old, and
Yeah.
we can all say that, hey, back when crypto started back in 2020, we telling you what.
We were doing all kind of stuff, and we were remember we were doing NFTs and these and that. But I
We had
think it was
mobile phones back then.
yeah. um, I think it was a fun ride when everything started with crypto and NFTs and stuff like that. Um, and because of that, we met a lot of people and
Hmm.
good people, good people. That were
Absolutely.
you can tell that if you never had been in a crypto stuff in crypto events, and man, you're missing a whole thing. It's like a new whole world, it's like you will see people that actually there's actually the people there that has some talent people, and you're gonna see a lot of fun people as well. I think that but the world, right now is going crazy, and at the
You
same way
think?
that I think it's going crazy is we having fun. I think we having fun at the same time.
Hmm.
So that's kind of cool. That's cool. I think it's good. But like you say, sometimes we have to talk to about stuff that maybe is boring, and people don't want to listen to that. But you know, um, there's always something to learn, even from the shitty conversation.
Well, no. So I totally agree with you, because we've had entire hour-long shows and sometimes even hour and a half shows to where we'll talk about the legal ramifications of this, that, and the other. And people are hitting the freaking snooze button, man. And we'll see, it's hysterical. We'll see a bunch of people drop off, and then a bunch of people come back. Are they done talking yet? Nope. And they'll drop right back off yet. But you're right. I mean, some of these things are like vitally important. And I do think that there are some people who want to understand that stuff. And with things like NFTs and crypto and investments and all that kind of stuff, there's not a lot of information out there. People don't even realize what money is. And I joke about it, but it was a real thing. I was a financial planner for 12 years. And Faz, of all people, we would always talk, 3, 4 times a year, regardless of how it worked. And he calls me up the one time, and this was back in 2000, maybe 7, I'm guessing,
Mm,
right around there. And
yeah.
we were talking, and he's like, "Have you ever seen Zeitgeist?" I'm like, "Gesundheit. What?" And he's like, "The movie, the Zeitgeist." I said, "No." He goes, "Oh my God." He's like, "Dude, you have to watch this. You have to watch this right now." He goes, "Go to YouTube, look up Zeitgeist." He goes, and at the time, I think there were two. He's like, "There's two iterations. There's part one and part two." He goes, "Watch those and then call me back." I was like, "Yeah, whatever." And so, same as always, right? So Faz says something, you're like, "Yeah, what a dumbass, whatever." But of course I listen, because he's a smart guy. I tease the hell out of him. I pick on him. I'm kind of a bully, always have been. We've told the stories about how I had him sent to the ER because I made him do stuff when we were in the military. And anyway, um, so I watched this Zeitgeist thing, and Zeitgeist was literally life changing for me, because I was a strict Republican conservative, oh my God, stuffy guy, right? And all about the money and the fiscal responsibility and everything else. And I'm
Yeah,
financial planner for people. And I watch this thing. And first, because I'm an atheist as well. So the first part of part one is about religion.
right.
And I got an education on religion. And then it moves into money. And I'm watching this and I'm like, Faz isn't stupid. Why would he have me watch this? So I start looking this stuff up. And I'm like, holy shit. This is true. This is how money works. And I'm like, I felt like such a fool because here I am for 12 years telling people what to do with their money. And apparently I had no idea how money worked. I went by what I was taught, which was completely wrong. And I back checked all this stuff on there and I'm like, they're not kidding. Oh my God, this is like a shell game, a Ponzi scheme. This is all fake. This is all. So that's what started me on the conspiracy train. So as much as Faz berates me about what a conspiracy theorist I am, it's 1000% his fault because that is what started me on this train. No joke. That's what started me on this train.
But would you agree to this? Like you just say, you were doing for years talking about money and telling people what to do with their money, and then for one reason, fast in this case, he put you up there open to his this new information. Would you not agree that most of the time when you talk to a friend about anything on a certain topic, you always gonna have a friend that will tell you, or it will tell you, hey, just check on this, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's all the time a conspiracy theory about what you're talking, and then and then you
Then
find
it's
out,
not.
yeah, then it's not, and then it's gonna click on you, and then you're gonna say, shit, I was wrong all this time. What I'm trying to say is, most of the time, believe it or not, conspiracy theories, it opens your mind
It
to think
does.
the other way, to start thinking more in another version of all the information that you have for several years, and you thought that, oh, I'm right, and this is then you open your brain like, holy shit, why I didn't know nothing about this for so long, you know. I have a friend
That's
that
the
I have a
beauty.
yeah, I have a friend that for years of my life, more than 20 years.
Nice.
And we talk about this, the same stuff, same thing. And sometimes I go to his home and he come to my home. We start looking to the star and we start talking about anything or whatever happened during the day. And it's always something comes as far as the conspiracy theory. By any chance, have you heard about this? Or have you heard about the moon doing this or that? And always gonna be now with the new technology, you have videos, you have proof, and you have people recording this, and then the whole thing change. Your mind is shit, probably being wrong. One of the one of the perfect topics that we're always talking about is the moon. And why we talk about the moon? Because there's always a video either in any platform, Twitter, Instagram, or something like that, that people in YouTube, these YouTubers, these people that dedicate their lives to start recording the moon 24/7, they have fancy equipment to record the moon for more than 24 hours. And then these people are showing their videos that things, let's gonna call it this way, probably UFOs that going around the moon, and they look so real. So, and that put you to think, and sometimes you ask to yourself, well, this thing looks so real to me, you know, those recording those that type of videos, and then you wonder, you know, what the hell is real in this life or not?
Well, I'll tell you, and getting into, I see we're transitioning into the conspiracy. So listen, this week I bumped into this last weekend. And of
Right.
course, while I work, I listen to podcasts. And so I went down this rabbit hole this week. Let me share my screen for a moment here.
Right.
So if I present and share screen. Oops, I gotta pop up. Allow. We're gonna do that one, but I want this tab. So I don't know what I'm doing here. Hang on. And share. All right, but wait a minute. We want to go to this tab. And now we want to go back here. They make it, StreamYard makes it so damn difficult.
Hey, man.
All right. Let me.
Whoa.
I know that's the other one. Hang on. So can you see the YouTube thing now or no? No, I shared the wrong tab. All right, hang on.
I think you got it good now.
No,
got it good. No?
that isn't that one. Let me show this other one here.
Brand F say we should all have open minds and never be married to our ideas. Yeah.
There it is. I found it finally. Yeah, I mean that is okay. So here we go. Now I've got it. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't done this in a hot minute. So my watch history. This guy, Dr. Stephen Greer, he is like ridiculously credible. He's briefed presidents starting back all the way with Obama and everybody else. He's been doing this for 32 years. He's a medical doctor, but he has also gone on the UFO side. And he talks about the moon and what aliens really are and what UFOs are. But this right here at the top is what I wanted to highlight before we move on. Because I've seen it in a couple of the shows I've watched him in, and he says he's dead serious. And Patrick David Bett had him on, Rogan's had him on. I mean, this guy is like, he's legit. And this right here, he kept saying in these, if you watch the documentary Unacknowledged, he said, I'm not even joking when I say that you know more than the president of the United States about UFO activity.
Oh.
And so I started watching this, and I got, as you can see, I got about halfway through it, but I watched The Lost Century, which was fantastic. And I watched a couple of these, and there were a couple more that I watched, if we scroll down in my history. But this guy is legit. He's briefed CIA people. He has testified in front of Congress. He is very, very credible. So I totally understand what you're saying. And when you start diving into that rabbit hole, he addresses the moon landing and everything else. His dad, this guy's dad, this Dr. Stephen Greer, his dad helped design the lunar lander.
What?
Yeah, this is, I mean, I can't believe, I've seen him before, but I never actually watched like his stuff.
Right.
So that for me was really huge. And I think with all this stuff, remove. All right. So I think with all this stuff, keeping that open mind that Brent was talking about and learning something new, it sounds crazy at first. Some of the stuff that he says sounds so crazy, but he has documents to back it up, and he shows the documents. He presents the documents. It's amazing if you just open your mind like you talked about. That was my whole point. My whole 5-minute rant here was solidifying what you were saying, and so many people will not open their goddamn mind to just listen.
But I have a question now that we're talking about this. So what do you think is failing? It is, and my question is about failing as far. We have people like this all around the world, all around the world. Okay, if you go into the internet, you will find a lot of people, very credible people that they the stuff they're talking and the information they have, they even have proof, like you say before. So what is actually making the human beings to fail to pay attention to this information? Why we still don't believe, and we always have that doubt inside of us, that why maybe he's saying the truth. We don't know.
Listen, so you're going to take me down one of my libertarian rants again
Uh-oh.
by presenting that question. The quick and dirty answer, I won't go on another big long diatribe, I promise. I'm trying to cut those down tremendously. It's our education. We're taught from minute one in kindergarten, and even by our parents beforehand at some point, that we are to listen to the authority. And this is where I poke on Faz so much. Daddy government and everything else. We're conditioned to just believe whatever our parents tell us. And I'll close that statement so we don't go down this rabbit hole and get off topic.
Right. Yeah.
But I'll close this statement with this. One of Faz's big arguments in the past, and what a lot of people will say, is they'll say, okay, with the moon landing, no. I mean, you have NASA, you have the government, you have all those people. You expect me to believe that all those people are lying to you. Well, guess what? Every kid and every parent had their kids believing in Santa Claus until they're probably 30 years old, right? Come on.
Yeah.
That is totally possible. So as you go forward, remember that it is possible. Easter Bunny, Santa, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
It can be done. And it's known amongst all of us, even if you're not a parent. If there's a little kid, you feed that. And that could spread into the religions. I don't have a problem with religion. I have a problem with conditioning. So, it's amazing how many kids are the same religion as their parents. Go figure. Because they aren't given a choice. They don't know any better. They're only told one thing by their respected and beloved parents. And so you get conditioned to that. And then when you grow up, you don't want to explore other religions because the only one you know is the one that my mommy told me or my daddy told me. So it teaches you to close your mind and just listen to what certain people, teachers and police and parents tell you. And opening your mind when you grow up and learning to accept other thoughts, even if you don't agree with them, listen to them. And it might make you think.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I actually did in my younger age, and I did, and I find out a lot of stuff, and then after certain time, and I find out what I really believe and what not. But yeah, like you say, we are doctrinating our kids to, well, this probably we just passing all information, and hopefully that stop one day. And I think the best education that a kid can have is just their parent pushing them to be open, to listen, and to understand everything when you're younger. And then at certain point of your life, you will desire what you want to do, what you want to believe in your own life. I think that's the best education as far as far religion and all that. Besides all the creepy stuff that conspiracies theories. If you deep into that one, as far as religion, and well, it's not a conspiracy theory. We know that religion was created by man. So another business probably. We don't know. It is true
Well,
or not. We don't know.
I do think a lot of, how do I want to phrase this? I think a lot of conspiracy is true, but only bits and pieces of it. So you might have 10% of the truth in a conspiracy. And then, of course, your mind being creative, we're taught, or at least I was, to be creative. And so we take that in our mind and we run with it with all these possibilities. And that's where conspiracy theory is born. So conspiracy theory can have some truth in it, but maybe not always 100% truth.
Right.
But it gets you thinking. And that's the important thing, is people don't want to think anymore. They want to jump to their device or AI or Google, and they want facts. And life is great with facts, but life is not all about facts. That having fun with conspiracy theories and thinking and presenting new ideas, as crazy as they might be, might lead to a spark that creates something else. And it's truly amazing. And I got through, like I showed on that screen share, I got through half of that documentary. And let me tell you, it's not just this guy talking. He shows the news, the mainstream media news for these things about 0 point energy and how they've discovered it and how they suppress it. And the media reporting on these things with very, very highly credentialed people. It's not a conspiracy if it's true, right? So again, only part of that might be true. Maybe they had it, maybe they didn't. The guy who found cold fusion, they talk about him in there, and the interviews and the papers and everything that goes through with it. So is it 100% true? Probably not. Is there a lot of it that might be true? And let me ask you this, and then I'll shut up. Where's that line? I've always talked about this because Faz always wants to promote giving good information to people.
Huh.
So let me propose that question. Where is the line? Is it 10% truth, 90% conspiracy or unproven that's garbage? What if we get 50% truth in there? Is that still garbage? Is that still conspiracy? What about 80%? Is 80% truth and evidence still a conspiracy? Where's that line for you?
Imagine, imagine after, imagine the next presidency coming in 4 years, and find out that probably that everything, or 50-60% what this new administration we have, 50-60% was a lie, and they were just having a show for 4 years. uh I think it's always the same way. I think we have to, we are we're living in a system that make you believe 50 and 50%, or probably less than that, because, and I mean, at this point you don't know what is true or not. uh and now we have AI putting out there a lot of stuff, videos and photos, that everything is created by AI now, that make it more real. Sometimes the conspiracy theory, they they could turn into
Mhm.
something real or not. So I think we are. I think probably 90%. I think that somehow to know the truth is hiding to us. Is we cannot know what is actually real true or not. I think that's what I believe. Um, and everything that you see and hear and listen when people talking, I think you're only gonna hear the truth is when you really have a just regular conversation with your friends, your families, and people that know you better, and people that is close to you. And when you have those very simple conversations, that's when people is open to tell you the reality, probably. The rest of the information that we put there, and we're taking it from the internet, and I still doubt in that information. Everything is so manipulated in these times that, I mean, it's really hard to believe in something.
Let me share a secret with you, Zorro. It's not really a secret. I just haven't talked about it very
Mm.
much. One of the top reasons that I respect you as much as I do, which is really high. I have a very high level of respect for you because one of your core tenets, and everybody has their core tenets, and probably close to the top of your core tenets is common sense. And so many people out there just, I don't know if they really don't have common sense or they choose to ignore common sense, but that is huge. And when you have those discussions and you talk about common sense, if you look at it and your eyes are telling you something and someone else is telling you that that isn't real or that's not the way it is because somebody, the government or a school told you that that wasn't true, and you're seeing it with your own eyes and you're being told to ignore that, that's huge.
Yeah, it is.
And that to me is an endearing, deeply endearing quality for someone who believes in, professes, and really understands what common sense is. That's huge for me.
Um, you probably people don't see it this way. You know, you have to think on this. If you go to Twitter right now and you open Twitter, probably you're gonna have 90%, 99% chances that you're gonna see a Twitter from Elon Musk, right?
Yeah, all the
Mm,
time.
Right. So the most famous person, and if you look well into these Twitters, you always gonna see and find in a comment that in any Twitter of Elon Musk, a person saying, here is the smarter guy in the world. He's intelligent, he's super intelligent, he's smart, he's this. If you really if you really pay attention what Elon Musk say when he talks in shows and presentations and events and anything, and I have been in several podcasts that he does through Twitter, which is they call it
Mhm.
spaces, right? This guy is actually not saying nothing out of the normal. The only thing this guy is doing, he's he knows how to use common sense. He's just telling you he's using his common sense. That's it. That is all that he does. He put you on a test. He will tell you what you think will be better. It would be better to go right, or it will be better to go left. Well, in the right side, you have um, a big chunk of apples, but these apples will take you, if you get them, it will take you to paradise. In the other left, in the other side, in the left side, you have a path full of rocks, and if you get into that path, it's gonna make you go through hell. If a person with common sense that knows what's bad and what's good, what do you think this person will take? You don't have to think of nothing. You don't even have to finish the history about the little story about which way you're gonna take. That how you can get there, how you can improve your brain, your memory, and how you can improve by found the best way to found the truth is use your common sense. Your common sense is the best skill that you gonna have in life. The common sense will take you to places, will take you to people, will take you to situations, even the most difficult situation. If you have a control of your mind, yourself, and you use your common sense all the time, you will find out how different you are and how different life it is and the world is around you as well. It's, I think you just mentioned it a couple of minutes ago. The world, the people is in lack of common sense. It's not about being smart. It's not about being the most intellectual, intelligent person in the world. You're not going to become more smart if you start reading books, thousands of books every day. You're going to become smart. You're going to become an Elon Musk. Once you start listening what you have inside you, and once you start using your common sense. How you use your common sense, you start asking to yourself, what should I do? Is this gonna be good for me? Yes or no? What would be the odds to do this or to do that, to go right, to go left? People actually never stop in their life just for 5 seconds. Just for 5 seconds. If you find yourself into a situation, in a difficult situation, either in a parking lot that while you're going to shopping and something happened to you, and you realize you right now you're in that in a bad spot, like we said, in a wrong situation. Just stop 5 seconds. It's just gonna take you less than 10 seconds. Just think. Use your common sense. What would be the odds to do this? What about if I'm not going that way? There's a very bad guy over there, but I had the chances to go this way. One of the things that I strongly believe that is interfering with your common sense is all what we have been created. Technology, your cell phone. Kids right now, when you walk into the street, pay attention around you. People is just walking with their faces down, looking into their cell phones all the time. People just walking because they just, they know how to walk. But at the same time, they just walking, looking to their phones. They don't know what the hell there's going on around them. You know, you don't even know if a person is coming behind you and is going to stab you or is going to rob you. And you know what? People don't even care. The first thing, what generations will do, you can literally have $10,000 in your pocket right now, cash money. You have it in your pocket, right? And you have your cell phone. You know what's the first thing, that first reaction, what generations will do now? They're gonna grab that freaking phone. They're gonna grab that phone, that device. They're gonna even hide the device, put it into their You know what? But they don't care. If the person comes and take all your money, they just don't care. It's about that technology. It's about that. So imagine the power that these devices have. We create the technology. It is good. I think it's awesome, but you cannot let the technology control you. That's wrong. Once you start learning that, you will start using your common sense. Okay, I can use the technology. I can use it for certain stuff. But how trust? How much trust you gonna put in the technology? I'm gonna be honest to you. I use my phone a lot. I use my computer. I have my office at home, and I do a lot use the technology a lot. You know, and I don't let the technology tell me what to do. I don't let the technology to be the guidance of my life, my real life. When I really want to do something, I just pull out everything, turn it off. Sometimes I even kill Alexis in my in my own home. I just go ahead and unplug it. Boom, there you go. That's it. You're not gonna listen to me. You're not gonna tell me what to do. Yeah, that's how you start trusting in yourself. So going back into the conversation with about Elon Musk is, if you really pay attention to these people, they're not saying nothing that you wouldn't know, that you don't have in your knowledge. They're just using different words. That's it. But they're using their common sense to tell you things that are very basic if you really pay attention to what they're saying. Um, Listening is an act that nobody does in today's days. Nobody. Generations and people there believe that they know everything, and that's wrong. We come to life every single day. You wake up, you're going to learn something. The same way that you wake up and your body feels the different way from the day before. That's how you um, that's how you gain experience as well. Paying attention to yourself, paying attention what your body does to you every single, how you feel, what kind of pain you have in the different days, what kind of mood you are. That's how you're going to understand everything. you know I strongly believe that when you start learning and find curiosity of what you have into yourself inside you, that's that's how you're going to discover the whole world that is around you.
I think there's, wow, that's a lot to unpack, but
I know.
I do agree with you in the sense that I believe that you're not predisposed to be smart or to be stupid. We have a huge range, right? IQ 68 versus IQ 168. I don't think that you're predisposed to a certain IQ. I think that you train your brain one way or another to pick up on things, to observe. One of the like everybody has a gift. And we've heard this many times before. Some people have a gift for arts. Some people have a gift for critical thinking. Some people have a gift for being able to figure things out quickly. My gift is that I observe everything. I see everything. There was a and it was a funny story, but I notice everything about everybody all the time. And I pull that information out. There was somebody at my day job, and she wears a bandana. And she wore the bandana. I noticed over time she wore the bandana based on what day it was. And I can't remember the exact scenario. This was a couple years back, but it was Tuesday, and every Tuesday she wore a blue bandana. And I called her out on it because it was Tuesday and she was wearing like an orange bandana. And I'm like, "Why are you wearing orange? It's not like Thursday, it's Tuesday." And the look on her face like dropped, and she's like, how did you?" And I said, "Because I notice everything." And that's my gift in life, and I think that's why I did so well in sales over the years, and why I'm very good with people, because I notice everything. And that gives me information. And that information I can then take and apply to the common sense. And I can analyze people, and I can read people, and I can understand people far better. That is something that I don't do consciously. It's just always been an unconscious thing of mine to notice everything. And I don't know where I got it from. It was just there. Everybody's born with the same brain. Everybody has a brain. How you train your brain as you grow up, that's, I think, where a lot of this comes from. And I don't think you're limited. I think it gives you a good start as a child, because everything, the formative years, we have psychologists that tell us about our formative years, and those things are locked in. I don't believe that. I believe you can change at any point in your life where you get that spark to where you start to realize things and things start to click and you go, "Oh my God." So it's a conscious effort to open that mind. It's a conscious effort to take in what's around you and to learn. And intelligence isn't totally an IQ score. It's your life experience. And you can take your life experience any direction you want it to go at any moment, at any time in your life. You're not too old to learn something. You're lazy. You're not too young to get the experience that you need for something. Those are things that you're told by other people that limit you in your mind. You believe it. "Oh, I can't possibly know that because I'm only 22. Bullshit. You can learn it. You've just got to stop listening to the person who tells you you can't be at that level right now because you're too young. Get that out of your head. Go learn it." Mental capacity is, I think, what really drives that.
Yep, I agree. That's actually true. I mean, uh, people need to pay attention to their skills more often in what they are capable of, to understand, to feel, to know, to Uh, a lot of people will go around you and asking you question, and a lot of people also use the skeptical, you know. Uh, but you won't see people using your real common sense. And common sense is the main skill will take you to understand and anything at any age, or any level that you are in your life right now. I strongly believe that. So any kind of theory up there, if you use your common sense, if you dig out into yourself, I think you will put together uh, the better understanding of situations around you and around your life. That's what I think is people is missing all these. We're being less human beings, and I don't know. I don't
Being
know.
being mentally strong.
Yeah.
You're taught you're taught that you're supposed to wait for information from somewhere before you make a decision. You're told to wait and listen, which is a good thing. You're supposed to take that information in. But your mind is what drives everything, and you have to teach yourself to break out of waiting for somebody to tell you something. You have to give yourself permission to let
Yeah.
go and permission to change. Your mind is so incredibly powerful. Oh my goodness. And people don't realize this.
Mm.
If you just teach yourself to trust what your mind, your heart, and everything inside you is pushing you towards, and to let go of the stigmas that you're taught that you're supposed to be in this box, and this box is all you can be. And this is why Fat and I argue so much about opportunity for people. If you're taught your whole life, I get this part. You're taught your whole life, this is your box. This is where you live because of your social status, your race, your religion, your creed, your whatever it might be. I get it. It's hard to break out of that. But it's possible to break out of that. If you take your mind out of that stigma, you can do whatever you want to do.
Of course.
You can.
Yep.
It's just getting over that hump of feeling like you're oppressed and feeling that you're limited in what you can do. And it's sad, man, because there's a lot of people out there who've been told their whole life, you're stupid. You're not worth anything. You're not where you need to be. You're never going to be where you need to be. And listening to that for year after year after year will take you to the bottom. And that's where you live. Then you're a bottom feeder.
Mhm.
And you don't have any self-worth. But you can break out of that. You can break free of that and come to that level of, you know what? I know what I know. I know I can learn that. It's hard to get that motivation,
It is
but
hard.
you've got to start thinking differently. And you've got to stop putting weight on what other people see you as. You've got to see yourself as who you are. And that doesn't mean you turn into a condescending, cocky jerk. That just means that you believe in yourself enough to say, I've had enough of being told that I'm stupid. I've had enough of being told that I can't accomplish what I want to accomplish.
Right.
And getting yourself to that level and then going and doing it. There's that famous saying, right? The people who say something's impossible need to get out of the way for the people who know it is possible.
That's all. Yeah. One of the things that I use in my life is I always think on this, right? And I learned this many years ago. I think I was reading an article, and I kind of understand this way, So, and it's a very simple theory that I have in my mind always. And once you understand this, you're going to see a lot of things happening around you in a different way. But one of the things that I always tell to myself is stop being a slave of someone else's ideas. That's it. Once you understand that, you will become into another level of using your common sense, your mentality, the world around you. And if I go to these platforms right now, and you'll see in Twitter and any platform, people are always following, the leaders. But you have to understand that they are people with their own ideas, but that's why you must choose to have your own world as well. You have
Y-
to you have to stop being the slave of someone else's ideas. Once you understand that, you will see the opportunities that you're going to have in your own life, that you can do anything out there, that you can say anything out there, that you can be anything out there, actually, you know. Um,
So I agree with you and I disagree with you, and here's why. I do think you called it being a slave, but listening to others. I think you do need to be in that mode until you don't have to be. Meaning, there's a lot of people who do have to learn those skills. They have to learn how to think differently. They have to learn how to acquire the things that they want to acquire. So there is that phase where they do have to learn those things.
yeah,
But then once they learn those things, that's when they need to learn to think for themselves. So I do agree that you have to become your own person, but in order to become your own person, you do have to experience what other people are telling you about life. And keep that open mind and seek out the tough. Right? It's real easy to go to a parent, a close friend, or anything and listen to their ideas. Go to the places that you don't agree with. Go to the place you strongly disagree with. All right, we're just going to throw it out here. You're pro-life, right?
yeah,
Go to a pro-choice rally and just listen. And listen and see what they have to say. You don't have to agree with it. You're not there to change your mind necessarily, but you're there to listen and take in information. And then you can go back to your wherever it is you are, and you can analyze that and think about that and say, okay, well, they had a really good point here and they had a really good point here. But you know what? I still believe that I'm a pro-life person, but you learned something.
right. Yeah.
And that opens your mind and that expands your mind and it makes you think critically about different things.
Mm.
And who knows where you could go from there, but you do need to take in that information. You do need that push from somewhere that makes you uncomfortable, because here's something that most people don't realize. I'm going to tell you right now, you will never grow as a person, as a human being, or as anything else if you don't get out of your comfort zone.
Oh yeah.
You're in a bubble, man. You're in your own bubble where you feel safe and secure and happy. And if you never exit that bubble to experience anything else, you will never grow as a person, as a human, or in your mind to be able to evolve and adapt yourself to the way things are. This is exactly why there are generations. There's Gen X, there's millennials, there's boomers. The boomers will never come out of their bubble. All right? They won't do it. They can't do it. It's impossible for them to do. So they will never grow. Gen X, we're in our bubble. We're right here, man.
Mm-hmm.
The people who listen to FazRadio and who listen to Zorro and Titan, and unfortunately, Faz, if you listen to Faz, don't listen to Faz, but listen to us. Zorro and I have it down. If you get outside and you're a little uncomfortable, that's where you're going to grow. And most people don't realize that. They want to stay in their bubble. They just la 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 to everything else. That's not how you become a better human being. You become a better human being by getting outside that bubble and experiencing different things.
Well, you become a better human being and better every day when you fail.
That too.
That's it.
God, these
You
participation
fail.
trophies. You really want to go there, Zorro? You really want to go there? Don't get me started. No, you're a winner
Yeah.
or you're a loser. If you're in
Yeah.
second place, you're the first loser.
Yeah.
That's the way it works.
Go fail.
Winning
Mm.
has privileges.
Yes.
Winners are the ones who take and dominate.
Right.
And you're, unfortunately, in life, you're going to be a dominator or you're going to be not. You're going to be dominated.
You
All right.
dominated, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
You have to step up. Winning has its privileges, and
Yeah.
winning for you is different than winning for me, and winning for Faz is different than me and you.
Right.
Personal accomplishment, personal winning. If you're happy, that's where you need to be.
Right.
But you have to grow. You can't stay in your bubble your whole life, man.
Right.
Don't do it.
And you know what? And now that we're talking about this and conspiracy theories, just go deep into a big conspiracy theory. Put yourself there. Put yourself
Great
there.
idea.
Dig into that. Jump. Go straight to the bottom. Go talk to people that probably will call you crazy and you're wrong and you're that. But you're going to learn a lot. That's what
And it'll give you something to think about. It absolutely will.
Yeah.
We totally rug pulled everybody. We were gonna hit these conspiracies and ask them if it was conspiracy or opinion or fact. And you and I went on these tangents. But I'll tell you what, I think it was a fantastic show. I think I even learned more from you too.
Yeah.
So I think this was a great conversation tonight, Zorro. You and I are a great tag team on here. We should probably just fire Faz from this show entirely.
Yeah.
And let him do his politics show and these other shows that he wants to do. And we'll get people where they need to be here on Friday nights, man.
Yeah, man. That's absolutely, yeah. Soto says something very important. He said, I don't understand why people say that it's harder to learn when you are older. I feel smarter than ever. And yeah, actually, that's it.
I had this up a little while ago.
I feel the same way, you know. I'm gonna put it this way. I've been surrounded for a more younger people than me in my work life, and I think this is gonna be the perfect example. And sometimes I jump into conversations that people are talking about technology, you know, like conversation about technology, what's going on, you know. Well, yes, I might have a very extended knowledge on that because that's one of my readings all the time. But people when they look at me and they say, how do you know so much about this, you know? But you are older than us, and young generations will look at you like you're obsolete just because you are older than them. You know, that doesn't mean that you could know your stuff. So your body, your look, you will become older. Yes, of course, that's in our natures. What you have here doesn't become old. Everything that you learn, everything that you have in your brain doesn't become. And if you keep upgrading this and updating this machine right here, it will make a big difference in your body as well.
What I like to say, Zorro, is that I have a little bit of gray here, and that gray is called experience. But notice that it's not all gray at this point, which means I'm still open to learn.
Yeah. Hey, we're learning every day. Every moment we're learning something new, you know. When I
That
say
goes to
that,
the open mind thing. Yeah.
yeah, of course. When I say that, don't be a slave of someone else's idea, that doesn't mean that you're not gonna be paying attention what people say. You actually have to pay
Right.
attention what people say. You have to actually try not to just listening by just listening. Just go ahead and pay attention to what people say. And once again, if you pay attention what these people in politics, Donald Trump, and I have to say, and I have to put this out there, and Elon Musk, because right now they're the trending people in the environment. These people are not saying nothing out of the world. When they talk about their stuff, they're not doing nothing that is just another common sense um, topics that they're talking in life that is happening right now in real life. That's it. If you go into a listen into a conference, what I don't know, the honor of Amazon, what just Jeff Bezos and these people, and even the people that you see in YouTube, any of those your favorite YouTube channels, and your favorite guy that is talking about conspiracy or whatever, just pay attention. Just use your common sense, um, and then you know you will be well prepared at any conversation into life.
Be open and
You know,
consciously force yourself to open your mind to new ideas. And that goes for us too. We open our minds to different things. I already admitted on this cast that I opened my mind when Faz showed me Zeitgeist. I opened my mind when we have these discussions for the last 3 years. Opening your mind, that doesn't mean you have to agree with it. That doesn't mean you have to dismiss it. But if you're hearing things and it's not within your tiny little bubble, you're automatically not listening to it. That's a problem. Open your mind.
yep.
Enjoy life. Learn new things. Step out of your comfort zone. Become somebody that you always wanted to be. And that's someone who can understand, open your mind, take your perspective and your perception and turn it into something positive. Mr. Zorro is the most positive person on this planet. And I laugh at him sometimes because he's like overly positive on some things. I'm like, dude, no. But at the same time, I listen. And it might take me 2 weeks, but I might come back and say, you know what? You had a point there. But God, just people do it. Just do it. Just open that mind and get outside of your bubble
Yep.
and take it in and analyze it. Critically think. Shut off your cell phone, shut off your tablet, and think. Go back to the roots of who you are.
Yeah, agree. As well say. Yeah.
Mr. Zorro, what are your words of wisdom as we walk out of FazRadio Friday for February? What are we on? 21st,
Yeah.
2025.
Well, I would say this: be who you are. Be yourself always. Use your common sense. Be creative. Share something good. Share something amazing with your family, with your people around you, with your friends, and always be willing to learn. There's nothing wrong with being that way. You become to this life to learn. And the whole life until the day you die, you're gonna learn something. And that is something positive.
Very profound. Very good. I agree 100%. And I will add to that you are more valuable than you think you are. Get out of your mind that you have limits to your value. Take what you know inside, bring it out, and become who you really want to be. Mr. Zorro, thank you for a wonderful conversation tonight, and we will see you all on our next iteration of FazRadio Friday.